Hello and welcome everybody to this week's Market Share, the short weekly segment brought to you by MKR, where we bring you all the noteworthy news and updates surrounding digital media and the world today. I'm your host Genevieve, and we've got some insightful stories for you today, so let's get started. First up, let's talk about the chokehold that AI has on marketing and on the rest of the world. You've probably seen the Mint Mobile commercial with Ryan Reynolds, where he submits a request for a script from the AI tool ChatGPT, including a joke, a swear word, and a reminder that Mint Mobile's holiday promotion is ongoing. The result is a terrifyingly accurate sounding spot, which just so happens to be the first of its kind. And this just shows why ChatGPT is being considered a serious potential tool in marketing. It has the ability to quickly produce coherent copy, which makes the AI software so much more exciting. But AI that can write copy isn't the only kind of AI that is bursting with popularity right now. McDonald's has created a Lunar New Year ad that is powered by the Nerf AI technology that allows you to create a 3D scene. As McDonald's has explained, they want to maintain their position perched between innovation and culture. In this case, they want to use their position to uplift Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. The digital experience of AI is becoming popular even with apps like Lensa, but in some cases, AI has missed the mark just a bit. Take a look at some of the AI-generated images from Hardee's AI Marketable campaign, and you'll see that AI definitely does have some limitations. Using the DALL-E software, they wanted to see what the technology thought their superstar burger would look like. Although the thought behind it was cool, the actual execution gets a little too far away from what they're actually selling. Experts remind us that AI has seemed to work best as a supplement, not a replacement, when it comes to creative jobs. But it seems as though many creative agencies are looking forward to testing out AI software in 2023. Obviously, this will work better for some clients than others, but it may be very worth it to look into the AI capabilities you have and how you can make it work as we dive deeper into the digital age. Next up, let's dive into Meta's new system for addressing algorithmic ads bias and how this variance reduction system can change the way Meta's housing ads are served. Meta has encountered many a lawsuit in its time, but this one focuses on the fact that the algorithms used on Meta platforms could serve ads based on sex, race, and ethnicity, which are protected under the Fair Housing Act. To ensure equitable advertising, Meta is also pulling back its special ad audience tool that is used to target lookalike audiences. It's also removing targeting options for housing advertisers that relate to any of those government-protected characteristics. Although this currently only has a large effect on housing advertising on Meta platforms, it probably won't be long until some of these same protections are put into other areas of advertising too, which could mean fewer targeting options overall when you set up your ads. This is a huge wake-up call to any social platform that offers to advertise, as the Justice Department is really cracking down on unfair marketing practices, starting with the giant. Who's to say who will have to change their practices next? Third up this week, and somewhat related to our last story, TikTok officials are working through new algorithmic transparency measures with the US government to avoid a complete ban in the US. These discussions are surrounding data storage and limited access to US user data by China-based ByteDance employees. The government is also seeking how TikTok's ever so popular algorithm functions and how it's used to manipulate users in the app. This has a few implications. One, the US government could potentially have a say in the algorithmic changes to the app, which could interfere with user engagement and experience. And two, the more information that TikTok has to disclose means the closer and closer other platforms are to finding the secret to TikTok's success. Luckily though, other platforms are based around ideals other than discovery, which is TikTok's winning feature these days. When you look at the key shifts in app performance trends over the last year, global time spent in social apps surpassed 2 trillion hours in 2022. This is surprising because of all of the drama surrounding every single social app and the incremental changes they make to come closer to an amalgamation of social media. We thought that social media usage may have plateaued, or dare I say maybe even decreased. But overall, more and more people are using social media for more and more time each year, making transparency the name of the game if you want to stay in good graces with the government and your users. We'll have to wait and see what this means for 2023 social media development. Last up today, let's talk about how an audio medium, podcasts, have begun to shift to a video experience. According to new data, YouTube is a key platform when it comes to podcasts, especially considering that a majority say they prefer consuming content with video rather than audio only. As of right now, only the US has a dedicated podcast service on the platform, but audio ads are still available in other territories when ads are targeting users who seem to be listening rather than viewing. Surprisingly, YouTube carries 33% of US podcast listeners' preference, while Spotify has 24% and Apple Podcasts have 12%. Which makes sense considering that 46% of podcast listeners prefer to watch the podcast as they listen, compared to the 42% who only listen. People want to see the facial expressions and hand gestures and general emoting of people throughout the conversation because they're able to engage more. But does this just kind of defeat the purpose of podcasts? One point of huge potential is that a segment of the audience is willing to pay money to attend a live recorded podcast event. So maybe podcasts just have to become the new talk show? That's all for this week's Market Share. My name's Genevieve, and I'll see you all next week. How an audio medium, podcasts, have begun to shift. We're not talking about powdered sugar.